Hello, it's Big Chads, and this is the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education series on my YouTube at Chads Trading. You can find me on Twitter at Big Chads and Bitcoin Live, where I am a founding analyst. For today's lesson, we're going to talk about three black crows, or three-winged crows is another name for it. Here's an example. Here's another example. This one is more in the middle of a pattern. This one's more at the top as a reversal. Now, generally in the textbooks, it's going to tell you that it's a reversal pattern. All right, and here's another example and a little bit more information. Here's just a write-up. It's a bearish candlestick. Predict the reversal. The thing is, you've already kind of had a little bit of a reversal. So let's talk about that. So let's say it's a reversal, and you have the move up, and then you maybe put in, let's call it a gravestone doji, and then you get the first crow, second crow, and third crow. Now, there's different requirements, right? In theory, for these black crows, I'll go back to this first image, you ideally have a close near the low of the session, each of those three candles, right? Because if, for example, let's say on this third candle, you had a big lower wick, that would show you that there's some reversal and momentum going on. So rather than continuing down, it's likely to pause here and maybe continue back up and maybe put in a lower high or something like that. But it is generally a reversal pattern. It works best after a mature trend. And really, in the best case, you're actually going to see increasing body size, right? You think about the concept of candle body progression. We've covered that in other videos. And by the way, this is the opposite of three white soldiers or three advancing soldiers. I have a video on that specifically. But ideally, you're going to see increasing body size to show expanding bearish momentum. And this is telling you you're getting ready for a big old drop. Now, the problem is, for example, if you're trying to short this, I think you probably want to wait for a bounce. If you see this type of a move happen, you may be on, it tells you that there's likely more downside in the medium term at least. But let's say here's your lower Bollinger Band. You've dipped below the lower Bollinger Band at this point. You may be overextended in the short term. You may want to wait for at least a bounce, maybe into the underside of the prior candle or something. You want to give yourself a little bit of a move to fade, for example, right? So when you see the three black crows, right, and ideally as well, lower highs each time, and again, shaven bottom or almost no lower wick, ideally. And again, ideally increasing candle size. A lot of damage has been done in the short term. When you've already got this three black crows, you've already done quite a bit of damage at that point. So it's telling you for sure that the trend is damaged. It's telling you that it's likely to continue lower, but that doesn't necessarily mean in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 candles it's going to go down. It may have a little bit of a bounce to reset the RSI, to reset some of these other oscillators, and then it's likely to continue down. So this tells you that a reversal has happened, more downside is coming, but it's more of a medium-term situation. It's unlikely, in my opinion, to happen immediately, especially if, like I said, if you get a lower Bollinger dip or some type of an overextension. So here's three black crows. I honestly don't know how valuable this pattern is to use. I don't know how you really trade it well. It doesn't give you good levels, but you've heard of it. People, tweet it. They talk about it all the time. And at least now you have a little better sense of what is it? What is the three black crows or three winged crows pattern? And this is for the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education series on my YouTube at Chads Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Chads and Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. Folks, thank you so much. And I'll talk to you soon. Big Chads out.